Hey guys, Fat Buddy Cat here. We're going to be installing the MM80 Predator 212 swap plate today, okay, from Go Power Sports. Before we do that and we nerd out a little bit on something else, I'm going to show you what I got from Harbor Freight. Alright, I went in for some 7018 guys, and this is what I came out with. Alright, I have this bit in the middle already. I've been putting that thing to serious work, alright? And it came with its buddies for $4 more. So I grabbed that. A couple new wire brushes. Alright, like $5 or something. Maybe even less. These were, I always get just the black ones, guys, because they're like $5.49. If you get the colorful ones, they grab you like another couple dollars, you know. I use these big 11-inch jobs, alright, for tying my cables and stuff together. It's just much neater. Axles, like if you have like a series of bolts and spacers and things like that, sometimes I'll run one of those through and zip tie them together and throw them in one of these trays. Okay. I got a new one of those for when I'm working on the floor. These sunglasses, guys, these are all I wear. They're like $1.78, I think. 3-pack safety goggles. I like to wear them. My dog likes to eat them. Works out. They had 2 of these bins sitting there. I scooped them up. Alright. And I also got one of these for my dog for the seat in my truck. It's shedding season for him. So, well, it's always shedding season for him. He's got hound dog in him. But, anyways, this is the 40x72, alright? These were $4.99 a piece. They have the bigger one. I believe it's an 80x72, maybe? It's bigger anyways. It's only $7.99. But, I grabbed that one up. Alright, so I just figured I'd show you that because those are like staple items that I use. These bins are great. You can put stuff in them and you can kind of like offset them and they will stack and stuff. I can do it right here on camera. It's easier when there's stuff in them because it pushes out on the side walls and they become more rigid. Alright, but like right there, it's together right there. Okay, and of course you're not going to put a lot of heavy stuff in there, but you know, they do stack. And they're just nice because they keep things organized. Alright, and they're a nice size for just grabbing into and hustling stuff around if you gotta. Alright, well that's that. I'm going to get set up and I'm going to show you something interesting on this frame. You can already tell. Alright, ta-da! See what I mean, guys? Already in use. This thing's not too big. It's just folded over once, right? This blanket I'm talking about. Maybe this bike too. But anyways, that's, you see what I'm saying? You have plenty here to work with. And that's all I wanted. I don't like having that. Remember that big silver tarp on the last build on my Def Duck bike? I shouldn't say last build because we're just waiting for parts to continue on that one too. But now we'll have a more compact area to work on. And it's, you know, it's like a silver gray on the other side. So when you're working with bolts and stuff, they might be easier to find. Less apt to bounce around if you're using rubber. Alright. Okay. So here's what I found out on the frame today, guys. This is just looking at it for about an hour before I decided what to do. Alright. Guys, I was trying to figure out. I knew the point of impact on initial damage was on this side, okay? And I have the sprocket out in the shed, but it's folded, all right. And they bent this piece, okay. This one was slightly askew, but this one was bent, all right. So they came down on the sprocket, folded everything, collapsed it. I think they maybe they're going off a curb or a jump, who knows. But you know, that was the damage, okay? And that's all I could find besides this little dimple here. And guys, this is nothing compared to what condition most of those things are in. Alright? So that's that. But other than that, guys, all the factory welds are here, okay? I looked at everything. I looked at where there was, I sanded off where there was rust and stuff. I mean, I really wire brushed in there to make sure it wasn't cracks or, it wasn't heat marks where they were heating it up with a torch and stuff. This is just defects in the paint and everything else. But I would be looking for bubbles and stuff, damage, heat warps and stuff in the frame. The only little dimplage I can find is right here, okay? But that's concurrent with what's on this side, okay? And that's not from a fold, so we're good there. But check this out, guys. I'll take you right down the line. All the way back to the beginning. Alright, so the first thing we're going to notice, alright, when we look at this weld job up here, we're tight on this side, okay? Let me get you in focus. Alright, and then over here there's some buildup. Okay, so this wasn't completely flush with the down tube, alright, when they welded that. And when you come back over here and you look at it, okay, you look at that point, alright, you can see the one on the right is slightly lower. Okay? Now, we come back from there, alright? I mean, we'll go down after. We'll come straight back. Alright? They came back, bent the tube, alright? And then, right here, alright, this frame is bent separate from this frame, okay? So, this weld on the seat support, alright, is not, you see that? It's at a different point on the frame, okay? So something's askew right there, okay? Like very much so. And then we come back over to here, alright? This would have been the second place they attached the frame. Or this, we would have had like 1, 2, and then you would have had this back here. Okay? Look at that. Alright? So this is one big C. Okay, that goes all the way around. Alright? So why, let's see, this one's welded higher. Okay, now it might not look much, but that's about an 1/8 inch. Okay, and this side's a lot closer to flush, and there's just a little buildup on the weld. Alright, so what they're doing, see it right there? You see? This side is higher than this side here. Okay, so it's lower in the front. And there it is, lower in the back. Okay? And then that transfers down right here, okay, to this plane, which this side is now higher, right? So our fender mount is higher on this side. Alright, and then we come down even further. And look at that one, guys. From here, like if you drew a straight line to here, and there to there. One thing's longer than the other. Alright, so this, you might not see it from the back. Okay, but this is further forward. This whole piece is further forward than that side. Pretty crazy, huh? That's all from the factory. Alright, so might tell you a few things when you get to modifying these. They might not be completely bent or completely screwed. That's just what they call okay. Alright, We're going to put this thing together anyway. We know it rolls, so let's do it. All right. First thing we're going to do is start with the engine plate. Get that Go Power Sport swap plate on there. And that'll be that. All right. Now the whole problem to this thing. Oh, we didn't go to this one. See this one, guys, right here. This weld is further outside to the face of the tube than this one over here. Okay, now you can see it, right? And you know, you wouldn't think that would cause too much, but this whole arc, you know, might set something up in here too. So, you know what I mean, guys? Just because they seem a little awkward doesn't mean we're not going to work with them. Lord knows someone gave me a chance. As good a bench as any, right? Anyways, how you like me now, Go Power Sports? Anyways, we got the plate, all right? Here's the hardware that I'm going to be using. Okay, this is like a really weird combination. I have a 14 millimeter bolt, and then I have a 1/2 inch nylock nut and a lock washer on one side and a regular washer on the other. But I think at the time it was the only thing that fit these threads. It came off this bike. It fit really tight. I didn't have any issues with putting it back on this bike, all right? Stick with what works. Know what I mean? So, this is really, really simple to do, guys. All you're worried about is those two holes there and those two down here, all right? And those are going to line up with the factory slot, okay, for the stock motor. What's missing on mine is the holes that were here that went through to the front. They had a adjuster, okay? I have that all welded up. Maybe some other things. So anyways, this goes right on top of here. All right? To make it easy on yourself, we're going to tip this whole thing on its side, but we're going to take the bolt and the regular washer, okay? And we're going to feed them through the holes first, all right? And then we're going to just like stick them in the slots that way. You see what I'm saying? That way you're not trying to fight this little space up in here. Okay, you can also use shorter bolts. You don't want to be, I think these are probably like, I don't know, 1.25 inches or something. I would say probably use like, these might not even be that. These might be inches. I'd say use like 3/4 inches or something, all right? And grade 8 and some nylock nuts. These aren't grade 8, but these things held great. All right? They might be grade 8. They've been on a date. Oh! Or two. More than me. Alright, let me get this thing on its side. Alright. Laugh when you don't know what else to do, guys. You know what I'm saying? Also, no, I'm saying, look at this. Alright? Big shout out to J-Rock. See this thing here, guys? That's the setup. You're not really worried about the back. Those are easy to fit through. Okay? So, these are just gonna do. And that's that. Okay? And you're not gonna put the back ones on yet. I mean, you could if you wanted to. Yeah, you might. You might as well. But if you're gonna do the back ones, guys, before you flip this thing up on its side, which you're gonna be doing, you can, you know, start to thread these ones on. They're just way easier, I find, when the bike is on its side, or the frame is on its side. Alright? Alright. Sitting sideways, guys. Alright. It's like those dirt track guys. Alright. So, all they have is my toolbox. And I got that moving blanket over it. Boy, I'll tell you, the other night, I think it was on Facebook Live, but they had it on YouTube. Joe's Mini Bike Reunion. Mason Pittman was on there, and they did an interview, and he's like one of the head guys from Mini Bike Misfits. All right, guys, and during the interview, I forget if it was before or after, but they were I think it was right before. They were talking about a stand that's on sale, and it's over at Studs Racing. All right, and they have a mini bike repair stand for $45. I think you got to pay for shipping, guys, but still, that's pretty cheap. And it looks pretty cool. I think they have different colors and stuff, but I got to get over there and get one because this is getting kind of ridiculous working on these, especially the little bikes. But I think they're adjustable, so I could actually use one for the big bikes too. Got a few things going on, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I'll look into it. But we're gonna work with this right now, all right? So here we are. We got our, our GPS plate up here, okay? And I put these ones on. There's my lock washer, my nylock nut, all right? And now that this is tipped over, I can just reach in and hold those, all right? And put my lock nut and my lock washer on there, okay? And the same thing when I'm tightening it, all right? Now, I'm not going to tighten these all the way, guys. I'm just going to snug them up a little bit, all right? Once we put the motor, the chain, the clutch, all that stuff, all of this stuff's going to be adjustable, okay? And it's kind of really neat when you put it on. I'll show you when we flip it back over. All right, guys, little change up real quick before I tighten these down at all. I went through and put a bigger washer and a brand new lock washer on there. Okay, all 4 of them. All right, so here's the top view. Okay, now we're in slots, remember? So we have adjustability back to front. I have it on there snug, okay, and this is fresh paint, so I don't want to go scraping it back and forth, but we can go the whole length of those slots, okay? Now our motor, any clone Predator 212, clone 196, whatever you got, small block, guys. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those slots, okay? That's where your motor is going to go. So we're going to have a little more adjustment right up here. All right. So before you go tightening any of these things down, just be aware of that. Okay. Now, something that's kind of a pain on these bikes anyways is the oil change, all right? And I had thought about that before I did this, okay? I also know where the oil plug's gonna be and yada yada yada. We're golden, okay? But just things to think about if you're ever gonna try modifying or doing something up in here. All right, you really want to keep as much free space as you can. The other thing is I didn't want to be way up here, okay, because when we're trying to tighten these, the motor is going to give us a little. We want to be below that, okay, so that when we're up here with our wrenches, we're not fighting it or swearing and cursing later on, because now we can't work it this way because you have a fan shroud in the way. And on the other side, it's just, this is probably the easiest one. If there's a torque converter on there, these can be a nightmare. All right, but where we're going light duty, not really light duty, but we're running a clutch, and we're not going to have all that metal, all that cyborg meat in the way. We'll be doing big things, okay? So let me take you around the other side. There it is. All right, I can peel this off if we want. I just left the tag on this. I knew that we just missed the rivet in the front and stuff from when I had it on it prior. Okay, and these don't come painted, guys. You can paint them any color you want. I choose the black grill, high temp grill paint. All right, because like I said, oil changes, anything, maintenance. This is gonna get dirty. Okay, mud, maybe clay. I don't know if this thing ever gets anywhere. It all depends how it runs. You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna be doing great. Alright, that's that. I'm gonna go have dinner. Maybe we'll get back to some more mischief when I get done. I think I'm gonna have steak and cheese. Yep. Alright guys, I've been holding back on it, alright? I'm going to show you this guy later, alright? On the Tillotson 212R, okay, we have the motor idling. See how when I'm pulling this back, we're getting slack in the throttle cable, okay? See how far it goes before it starts to engage? We're going to take that slack out, alright? Let me show you guys something. Alright guys, the way I'm doing this, I tighten this 10mm nut, right? So that I'm squeezing my throttle. So I can pull it out to where it starts to engage, okay? Alright, it's like right there, okay? As soon as it starts to move, the throttle, okay? That's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to tighten this down and take that tension out, okay? Alright guys, we're out here on the MM212Pro Def Duck Racing Edition. Alright, Tillotson 212R, Stage 1, stock exhaust, 38 jet, okay? And this is with the throttle set for max stock, okay? RPM, guys. I turn the idle down a little bit in the process. See how snappy it is? We're right there now, okay? I'm gonna guess we're gonna get another 1,500 out of this. I was holding back, guys. I was gonna show you on something else, but let's do this. chain's not even loose. This is still with stock gears. It's a pretty good incline. I'm 235. This is not like any other engine I've driven. For stock, you know. We're hucking dirt. Alright guys, that was pretty fun, huh? Nice little mashup. Wasn't our Misfits bike. We got our Def Duck racing bike out there. That was fun. Did you guys catch this? Anyways, guys, I knew that this wasn't going full throttle. All right, right here, and let me show you. Okay, we were about a good 1/4 inch off of it last time. All right, the reason I did that is I wanted to break this motor in. I'm trying to take good care of it. This is a really nice motor, and there's more I'm gonna do to it. Okay. Now, there's some things, all right? At one point I yelled out, you can't even hear it surging, all right? This motor doesn't surge. That's not the way it's set up. It's just set up to run 58, okay? Now, you know, there's other things going on with this, okay? Where I have the stock muffler on this, okay? But I'm running the intake in the velocity stack. I probably could tone this back to like a 36 jet, okay, maybe a 37. It's got a 38 in it. With this motor, guys, this is a tuned engine, all right, and those little increments make a difference, all right. The same with adjusting your air and fuel mixtures and such, okay. That's why this motor comes with an adjustable carb. It doesn't come with an oil sensor, therefore it can hold more oil, okay? It has things, this has a 196R head on it, okay? And it's a little bit different, all right? And it's a 212, okay? It's got a 212 cam. It's got, you know, like it's probably, I'm guessing, their version of like a Mod 2 cam or something. I haven't looked too much into it, but you can hear it a little bit. You can definitely feel it. So, you know, most of these engines are governed at like 36 to 3800 RPM. Okay? Reason being they're working class motors, and at that RPM, the motor is making its most power and torque the most efficiently it can. Okay? And those motors are meant to run, 6, 7, 8 hours, just blah, balls out, and that's what they do. Okay? And it works. This motor is for something different. Okay? So typically, like here's an example. If you go over to Go Power Sports, okay, on their YouTube channel, they do a really good dyno test with a Predator 212. All right, they take it in stock form, and I think they run it to like 7 horse. All right, with the governor in it, okay, they run 18-pound springs in the stage 1, and they get it up to like 9, I think, maybe a little over 9 horse. All right, with the governor still in it. Okay, now I'm pretty sure this motor's got just your 10.8s. It might be that other version of a 10.8. I'm not sure. But I mean, I didn't hear or feel any type of valve float or anything going on either. Okay? Which is typically an issue that happens around that type of RPM. The other thing that happens is the rod starts starving. Okay? The rod in this motor might be a little bit better. It's not a billet rod, guys, but it might be built for some things. Okay? Now, they sell this motor to you with the shortened linkage, okay? And here's the thing with this throttle linkage. You see all those holes there, guys? All right? This motor is meant so that you never need to add an outside linkage. Now, I bought the, that red governed linkage. Okay, one of these jobs here. All right, and this is how I knew I wasn't hitting full throttle. And I was setting this thing up, and what happened is on the Tillotson, the 212R with the aluminum flywheel, that Belco flywheel that's in there, it's so Duca, guys, that the fins come very close, all right? And the threads are shorter, and these are shorter bolts, all right? And so short that if I put this on there, I'd barely be getting any threads, all right? Now, I could have used a longer bolt, right? And then washers and spaced it out this way. But, this looks nice. And Tillotson designed this motor, guys, so that you can use this linkage, even without a governor. Okay, they want you to use this linkage. Okay, and they want you to use it for that. Now, if I go and do that, all right, I'm going to talk to EC Carburetors, all right? I'm going to try to get a hold of one of their techs, and I want to ask them, hey, if I do this, if I do that, what can I safely do? All right? But guys, I'm under the influence that with this motor here, okay, it's meant to be maintained. Okay? There's torque specifications. There's closer tolerances and stuff in this motor. All right? So maybe every so often we could take off the side cover. Okay? We could get all this stuff out of the way. And we could get on up in there. All right? And we could check our torque spec on our rod. Okay? And we can make sure that we're looking good. We can take a gander in there. And then we could replace the seal and put it, replace the gasket and put our cover back on and torque that on. All right? And we can pay attention to those things as we run our motor. Okay? I'm going to find out about the springs. I'm going to find out what's recommended. And we're going to run it. All right, guys? I want to know what these out-of-the-box race engines are capable of. And I think it's going to be pretty impressive. I'm already pretty impressed with it. Dollar for dollar, guys, I would have spent more money trying to get a Predator 212 to do what this motor can do stock safely, okay? And you know, certified so that it's able to be on a track, okay? You know, so we'll see where it goes. I might tune this thing up a little bit more. Maybe we will go with the billet rod. All right. If we do, we're going to go longer. All right. We're going to do some things, but we're going to see what we can get out of it in this form first. All right. We got another motor. They'll be coming for this bike here pretty soon. Okay. We got our Go Power Sports plate on there. It's looking good. All right. It's gonna be nice and clean. Now you see where those Predator mounts are, guys? Almost dead nuts in the center of that frame. All right. Now it might not look like it because we're dealing with the offset plate like we discussed earlier, but you know, so what's that going to do? It's going to make it feel very balanced, all right? And we'll just space our clutch according to our alignment, all right? That's all we're going to do there. When we get there, there's going to be some steps before that. All right? Just like there's some more steps with this bike, guys. I still need to get that torque converter cover off, check the settings, check the belt, all right? And you know, even with our added RPM and power, we're still going to change the ratio a little bit, okay? So, stay tuned, guys. Get lots of action. Get some rest, because you know what it is. Work in progress, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.